Nobody ever tells you that a mortgage and a credit card are the exact same thing. Both are just borrowed money you promise to pay back with interest. You've been taught they're opposites, one smart, one dumb. And that split is the reason so many careful, responsible people are quietly getting poorer every single month. Whether a debt makes you richer or drains you dry has almost nothing to do with what you bought with it. It comes down to one number, and most people who owe money have never once sat down and worked it out. Stick with me, and by the end, you'll know exactly how to run that number on your own loans and see in plain dollars which ones are working for you and which ones are quietly working against you. Let's start with the actual definition, because it's simpler than you think. Debt is just this. Someone hands you money now, and later you hand it back, plus a fee. That fee is the interest rate. A car loan, a student loan, a mortgage, a credit card balance, it's all the same machine wearing a different label. The label is just what you spent it on. What actually matters is buried inside the box, and almost nobody checks. The advice you've always heard sorts debt into two piles. Good debt, like a mortgage, because it buys something that grows in value. Bad debt, like a credit card, because it buys something that doesn't. It's the most repeated rule in personal finance, and it's wrong often enough to hurt people. It's wrong because the thing that actually decides whether debt builds you up or tears you down isn't what you bought. It's this: the rate on your debt measured against what that same money could be earning somewhere else. Carrying a balance at a high rate is like agreeing to lose that percentage every single year until it's paid off. So ask yourself the only question that matters. Could that money have reliably earned more somewhere else? Almost never. Now flip it. A cheap, fixed loan sitting well below what your money could earn elsewhere isn't dragging you down at all. It's quietly making you richer because you're borrowing at a discount and putting the difference to work. Same tool, opposite result. The only thing that changed is the number. Let me show you what that looks like with two guys who get the exact same paycheck. Meet Derek. He's careful with money, never misses a due date, checks his balance every week, would tell you flat out that he's responsible. Derek also carries about $8,000 on his credit card month after month, like it's just a permanent bill, the way roughly half of cardholders do. He puts a couple hundred toward it and watches it inch down and feels fine about it. Here's what Derek has never actually calculated. His card charges 21.5%, which is close to the national average people pay on carried balances. On $8,000, that's about $1,700 a year in interest alone, gone before it touches a cent of what he actually owes. Because his payments are small, the balance barely moves. It'll take him nearly 6 years to clear it, and along the way he'll hand the bank more than $6,000 in interest. He'll pay over $14,000 total to erase an $8,000 debt. Derek, the responsible one, is basically running a small permanent donation to his bank, and it never feels like a crisis because it never arrives as one. Now meet Owen. Owen bought a house with a 30-year fixed mortgage at 6.5%. By the old good debt bad debt rule, Owen's fine. End of story. But the thing that actually sets Owen apart isn't the mortgage. It's what he refuses to carry. No revolving card balance, no financed furniture, nothing sitting above that mortgage rate. Whatever's left over each month doesn't sit in his checking account or feed a card. It goes straight into an investment account. Say Owen puts $500 a month into the market, the same kind of spare cash Derek is feeding to his card. At a typical 10% return, that grows to roughly $102,000 in 10 years, well past $300,000 in 20, and past $1 million by year 30. Adjust that for inflation, and it's still worth around $610,000 in today's money, from $500 a month. From nothing more exotic than standing on the right side of one line. Derek and Owen earn the same paycheck. Neither one is lazy or careless. The only difference is which side of that line their money sits on. Derek's spare cash is trapped fighting a 21.5% current. Owen's is riding a 10% current in his favor, while his cheapest debt sits underneath that. Same instrument, opposite direction. So where exactly does that line sit? Cash parked safely can earn around 4% right now with no real risk. Money in the market has historically returned closer to 10% over the long run, though never smoothly and never guaranteed. Above roughly 8%, a debt is almost certainly costing you more than your money could reliably earn, so you go after it first. Below roughly 6%, especially if it's fixed, you're usually better off keeping the debt and investing the difference. Between those two, it's a genuine judgment call. Here's the detail that makes it sharper than it looks. Paying off debt is a guaranteed return, and it's tax-free. Earn 10% in the market and the government takes a cut. Erase a 21% balance and you keep every bit of it because you're not earning income, you're just removing a cost. That means clearing Derek's card beats the expected return of the stock market by more than 11 points a year, guaranteed, with zero risk. It was sitting in his mailbox the whole time, dressed up as an ordinary bill. This same logic is what wealthy people use on a much bigger scale. They buy things that grow in value, hold on to them so nothing gets taxed, and when they need cash, they don't sell. They borrow against what they own at a low rate and let it keep compounding. They're borrowing cheap and earning more. The exact same rule Owen is running on his house, just with a lot more zeros attached. So here's your homework. Write down every debt you carry and its rate. Anything creeping toward 30%, treat like an emergency. A personal loan near 12%, attack it next. A car loan near 9%, still worth targeting. A student loan around 6.5% sits in the gray zone. Keep paying it on schedule and ends vest alongside it. A fixed mortgage near 6.5% leans toward keep. Same call Owen made. One thing beats every rule here. If your employer matches retirement contributions, grab that first, because a 50% match is a 50% instant return. Nothing else on this list can touch. Debt isn't good or evil. It's just a rate pointed in a direction. Point it below the line and it builds you up. Point it above the line and it drains you dry. Whether you're Derek with a card or a billionaire with a stock portfolio. Now you know which number to check and which way you want it pointing. My name is Nathan. If this video helped you, share this with a friend or two. Please show your support and subscribe to the channel. It really helps and it means a lot.